Correct. But both Drew and Crissy were like, we got this. Like, oh, we have this. And we love that. We encourage our kids to have that kind of confidence. We want them to say, yep, we got this. Let's do this. We can handle this. Like, varsity, here I come. Let's do this. Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Got my beautiful bride here in studio today. She thinks I'm talking too loud, apparently. Maybe I need to turn your volume
I'm like, oh
down.
my gosh.
Okay. Somebody's playing
Everybody
with
knows
the
you're in
buttons on our little machine over here.
Okay. Everyone knows you're in the studio. Like all of Idaho heard you're in the studio. Okay.
Hello, everyone. Okay. What are we doing today, my dear?
Well, I'm really excited to have you in the studio. Last time I had a chance to chat with a couple of the awesome kiddos.
By the way, did you know today I went to the bank? There was an old lady there, and she asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over.
Everybody's missed these. You can tell. They're back.
Especially you.
Yes. Yeah. Last time I had the kids in here and we had great conversation. It was awesome. So I'm super glad that you and I get a chance to chat today because when we were planning for today's session, like it was really neat because we're going through so many great things, guys. I gotta tell you, I hope you guys are in a season where you're learning through all your seasons, I should say, because we sure are leveling up to a new level in parenting, I guess you could say, because there's more going on in ours. But a lot of it has to do with not just sports, because we talk a lot about sports, but about some of the things we've learned recently with our kiddos.
Yeah. Well, there's so many life lessons in sports. And, we're talking about it all the time because that's what we do. I mean, we are kind of living through our sports world in this season. It's spring and the kids are in a lot of sports right now, so it's pretty consuming of us. I mean, literally 5 days a week, and that's our season. So, but it is interesting though because, as people who are listening, they know we're one of our most important core values of our life is that we're going to be very intentional with everything we do with our children. So, whether it's it's the stuff that we talk about when there isn't sports, or it's the stuff when there is sports. Like when we're still at sports, we're paying attention. How are the kids reacting? How are they responding? How are they handling opposition? How are they handling victory? How are they staying humble? How are they gaining confidence? How are they working well with others? How are they growing skill set? Right? I mean, like there's so many cool dynamics. It's one of the reasons why we love sports so much because there's so many life lessons within them.
Yeah, and I think one thing, all of our kids are gifted in different areas of sports. I mean, I love watching the kids perform at whatever level they want to, and we always want them to do the best because just like we say on our amazing placemats, one of our sayings is that your best is enough, but your best is required. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know where to find our placemat, by the way, you guys can go to our website. We have this awesome placemat where we do our team meetings and we put it on there for you guys to check out. Yeah. And on there are some of our core values. A lot of times when we talk about core values, people ask us like, what are some of your core values? So if you want to check out some of the things that we speak over our family on a reg, please go to our website and check it out.
Which is www.redwoodparenting.com.
Right. And you'll be able to get that free download to see our...
Yeah, and we'll add more resources on there over time. It's kind of our landing page to be able to add resources that we're going to reference here on the podcast.
Correct.
So, yeah.
But one thing I like about sports is, again, all of our kids are gifted in different ways. You know what I mean? And it's a learning thing for all of us because how you handle it is so important. So for us right now, we had this opportunity where Drew and Crissy tried out for the middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And
middle school tennis,
I'm sorry. And we were really excited. All of our kids like tennis. Some are a little more natural at it than others, and some have had more practice than others. And we had just came back from visiting in Florida for about a 4-week vacation. And so the kids were playing tennis like 2 or 3 days a week there. Like they were playing a lot with a coach there and then practicing on their own. So we came and felt pretty confident that as the kids tried out, they'd be able to really prove themselves. The twins went and tried out for high school, and they made JVA, and we were very proud of them. Because there is competition. There's some competition. We are in, I'm sorry, hon, what school district are we in? We're in a 5.
It's a 5A school. So, these are big schools. I mean, like a high school have close to 3,000 kids. So it's the biggest level in the state. So obviously, I mean, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of competition just to be able to even participate. It's a lot different. I grew up in probably like, I would say the second to smallest in our state in Michigan when I grew up. Out of 5, so whatever that they didn't call it like A, they call it like ABC, like stuff like that. But we were a Class C school, and so it was considerably different. And one of the things that's really unique is that when you were on a team, because it wasn't so full of kids. I mean, it was full, and you still had to compete, but it wasn't full like this, where here, what's interesting, I mean, there's 80 kids try out for middle school tennis, right? 80 kids that are there between 6th through 8th grade. And because of that, there is such a, I would say, I don't know, it's like a unique pressure, because think about having 6 tennis courts and there's 80 kids out there. They don't really cut anybody, but at the same time, you won't get any playing time if you're not in the top, however many kids. I think it's probably like 20 or something like that. So you're always competing for a spot. And practices, you don't really get much practice time because you're trying to all share courts. And so then what's been happening, which is really unique, is that I'm learning that basically kids around here in these kind of size schools, you have to do all kinds of practice on your own. And then you just show up to actually play these sports. You don't get to actually learn how to play the sport while you're in a sport, in any of these sports here. So
you need to be prepared ahead of time and already had coaching or training on your own. And because of that, we thought we were coming in pretty strong because we had gotten the kids prepared ahead of time by having a coach in Florida. But come to find out, like, there's a lot of competition. Some have been practicing pretty much since, the beginning of...
Since they were walking.
Yeah, literally. And so the girls made JVA, and they've been working very hard, and through a lot of hard work...
You're talking about the high school girls.
Right.
The twins.
The twins made JVA, and we were very proud of them because we saw the competition, and it was good competition. It was definitely good competition. And our girls did have areas that they can improve in, But with that being said, they've worked very hard and have had opportunities to play a few varsity matches also.
Yeah.
We have seen them improve with, additional coaching and really seeking out the varsity head coach, and they're moving forward. So with that being said, Crissy and Drew were next. Their tennis didn't start until a couple weeks after the high school started.
Right.
And Drew's in...
Because Drew's in 6th grade, Crissy's in 8th. So they're all kind of thrown together 6th through 8th grade in middle school tennis, yeah.
Correct. But both Drew and Crissy were like, we got this. Like, oh, we have this. And we love that. We encourage our kids to have that kind of confidence. We want them to say, yep, we got this. Let's do this. We can handle this. Like, varsity, here I come. Let's do this. And they have JV and varsity even in middle school. And so Drew and Crissy had been working really hard, practicing together, practicing with the twins too, to just get ready. And tryouts started, and it was neat. It was really neat because our kids, again, didn't know the level of competition that was coming at them.
Yeah.
It was a little stretching. At first, they kind of assumed that they had it in the bag, but it was more stretching than they realized.
Oh, yeah.
Now, some of our kids react to some pressure differently also.
Sure.
Drews gets out there, there's pressure, and I don't even think he understands there's pressure. He's having so much fun. Like, he just like...
And he's very naturally athletic, so he can, if he's playing against just the average person, he's going to be better, right? However...
And with that being said, what's interesting about Drews is we already have him in 2 other sports. So we literally didn't really sign him up for tennis.
No, it's like the school did.
The school did. Because they just assumed since one of our family members were that he would.
Oh, yeah. And they all did cross country together last year. And so they made a name for themselves because they showed up out of nowhere. And here's a 6th grader beating 8th graders. And, so they're just like, what? I'm assuming because Chrissy's in, then Drew must be in. Like they literally signed him up. We didn't even sign him up.
No, I purposely didn't because I thought to myself, we don't need a third sport for
But
this
then
child.
we were like, well, he's signed up, so let's let him play. Of course, So he's got tennis 5 days a week. He's got football 2 to 3 nights a week, and he's got basketball 3 days a week.
And typically he goes from one sport to the other and back to another at that point.
Yeah.
So like on Friday, he literally goes to tennis, he goes to football, and then he goes to basketball.
Yeah, that's
Like-
right. He does.
So-
Back to back.
But
From
he
3 o'clock till about 9 p.m. He's playing a sport.
and he's so happy. And that's his personality. Like, he kind of gets out there, like he doesn't really get upset or stressed out. He just plays his game. He stays in his lane, and he did great. So after like 3 days of tryouts, he was feeling pretty good. Crissy went out there, and she's an amazing athlete. She's great. Sometimes she overthinks things sometimes though. And when you overthink, that's when you start making mistakes that you wouldn't typically make when she's just playing with her siblings.
Yep.
And she was overthinking a lot, trying, I just feel like she overdid some stuff that typically she could just easily do. She was overthinking it. So I think it was, they had 5 matches they had to do. And then the coach was going to kind of place JV or varsity from what I understood.
Right.
So Crissy.
So the key is you want to be on varsity, what they call varsity middle school, because varsity players are the ones that actually play in the matches.
Right.
Right. And I think they only take 20 kids or something
Correct.
like that for the varsity. Otherwise, you're on JV. And you actually practice separately too. They have separate days because that way it frees up more court time, which I think is really smart to do that. So, yeah. But so everybody's fighting because everybody wants to be able to play in matches.
So unfortunately, in Crissy's situation, she did her first 3 matches and she did not win. And not that she's not a great player, but I mean, they're trying to figure out quickly who's going to make it to varsity, who's going to make it to JV, when coaches only have so much time to check everybody out.
They don't have a lot of time to really evaluate you based on your potential. They have to evaluate you based on, can you beat other people right now, right? So then they do matches, and they actually have to try out against each other on the team. And she really badly wanted to be on, varsity.
So we get the list after the tryouts, and it was one of those scenarios which parents, I'm sure you've either been in or hope you're never in, is when children around the same age try out. Your prayer is that they pretty much make whatever level together.
Yeah.
If it's JV together or if it's varsity together, at least we're together.
Yeah.
And we got the list, and I got it first. It got emailed to me, and Drewsy had made varsity.
Yeah, little 6th grader made varsity.
Without even really trying. The bummer, like in Chrissy's mind, probably the bummer of it was just like, he wasn't even going to be doing this. This wasn't even his thing. And Crissy had made JV at this point. And I will just tell you guys, from a mom, it's like one of those things that always hurts my heart, because it's like, we're going to have to talk about this, and she's going to be hurt. She's going to be hurt. Like, life will be okay, but she's going to be hurt, and it's going to be a scenario that we're going to learn from and we're going to improve from. And we'll probably go into it a little bit in the next one, but right away I got it. And I think what's so powerful is that as I received it, I already knew it was going to be okay. Like, we're going to learn from this. It's not the end of the world. We're fine, But I called you because I knew you were on your way home. And I was like, here's the lineup. This is what we got. I'm like, I'm just so bummed for her. I just know she's going to be hurt. She really wanted to make this, and you're like, she's going to be fine. In fact, why don't you talk to her about this? And why don't you tell her afterwards to get, her shoes on, get her tennis racket on, because I'm going to take some of the kids and we're going to go practice a little bit. Like, what can we do to get on varsity as quickly as possible? Like, I know we got the list, but that's not the whole season list. We're going to show what we can do, and we're going to get her on the next.
Yeah. And so it was like, you have to give her a hug and support her when she's down, but at the same time, what are we going to do about it? It's like, sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. And so now here's what you're learning. You're learning you got to get better. Like, that's the bottom line. Like, we can't be mad. This was actually as fair as it can be. This is not socialism. This is not everybody gets a chance. This is real life. I love this kind of stuff, to be honest with you, because it just teaches them so much, because this translates into everything in life. You're not going to become the successful financial person just because you just showed up. You have to actually get good at what you do. You're going to have to work on skill set. You're going to have to overcome obstacles. You're going to have to play hurt a little bit. You're going to have to outwork other people who are more naturally talented than you are in order to be able to positively compete. And so next episode, we'll go into some of what we did and how it's been turning out. But it has been definitely a learning season around here.
Absolutely.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.